Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you day 19, I nearly said 15, day 19 of the A to Z challenge. Now let me preface this by saying this build, I hate. Um, look, I had so many problems with this build, namely motivation to actually do it. Um, and the fact that I did not have the motivation to do it. So yeah, if you are wondering if all of these are furnished and fully decorated as stores, no, I only got to 12 of them out of the 17. I have put windows on them all and doors, but that's it. So yeah, I managed to get to 12 out of 17, and I was up till 1 a.m. last night trying to finish it. And I'll be real, if I wasn't procrastinating so much, I absolutely could have gotten this whole thing done, but then this video would have been like an hour and a half, and I don't think any of us have the time to watch an hour and a half video of me just having a mental breakdown over a stupid build that really didn't need to take as long as it did. But you know, here we are. So yeah, this is a shopping village, I guess. It's supposed to be like a shopping center, but it turned more into a shopping village, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So like I said before, there's 12 builds buildings, I guess, furnished, and I guess that leaves 5 of them that are not. So one of them that is not is meant to be like a little hotel inn type thing, but then I have another building that looks like it should be a hotel build inn type thing. And I don't know, I just got very confused and very lost, but we have first up the, I think this is the one, the little build, one-story build with the archways is a pizzeria. Across from it, actually no, the one behind it, the big one behind it with the curved balcony bit, is a bar, but it's got rooms to rent. So the bar's upstairs, rooms to rent downstairs. We have a kids' toy store, well, it's either a toy store or like a daycare while your parents shop type thing. Don't really know. Bit of both. Yeah, there's a toy store thing, a bakery, a bookstore, a wedding dress store, a wedding flower store right next door to that. And chapel that's set up as like a little wedding venue. An Asian styled restaurant. Um a witchy store. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then yeah, a farmer's market type thing. So like I imagined a bunch of um people who work on farms or like handmade products and things like that, or work with animals, produce, that sort of stuff. That they actually joined together and decided to rent this little building space, and they come every day or week or whatever, and they sell all their produce. And it's super productive and like yeah, get a lot done. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we end up with. I'm a little unsure as to how I feel about all of the different styles of each of the buildings. So some of them do change. Like this is the bar, and I do not like it the way it is. I probably should have left it as this coloration. It probably would have worked really well with everything that I do, but I changed it to like a yellow color, which I find a bit odd. Um, yeah, at first I'm just trying to do the outside to make the outside look good, and then because I was like thinking, if I make the outside look really good and decorate it, then people can come in and put their own stores. And then I just completely forgot about that and went in and started decorating them, and then got very overwhelmed, and yeah, um, it probably bit off a bit more than I could chew. I should have done probably like a 50 by 50 lot max, Because this is a 64 by 64 lot in, oh my goodness, in, yeah, you've lost me, the Chicken World. Henford on Bagley? Yeah, when I'm looking for packs or anything like that, like if I used a bed and I want a matching bedside table, I'll look at the little image and then I'll just, like, in my head say that the name of the image in my head so that I can find it in the other areas that I'm looking. So I couldn't even tell you right now what the chicken pack is called, but it's this one. It's the world that this is in. Cottage living. So cottage living in my head is chicken. Get together is friend group. Get to work is briefcase. Like it's just, I mean, get famous is get famous. Some of them I do recall. But some of them, yeah, it's just weird random stuff that I come up with. Like eco lifestyle is light bulb. I mean, vampires is vampires, werewolves is werewolves. Some of them are a little obvious, but island living is just island. And yeah, there's just a few of them that I kind of like. I just like what was it? The Strangerville is I can't even think of it now. It's like the flask, but I don't use the word flask. Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of random things like that together for me to help me remember them for when I'm looking for things. Because some people are like, oh yeah, it's this pack and that pack and it's this item there and blah 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 and this and that, and I'm like, I don't even know my own name. Cool. So I don't know how to find these things. It's pretty intense. So actually with this build, the overarching build was actually inspired by two different people. So the first bit, when I was coming up with this list, I was really inspired by Fresh Pick. He was doing a shell challenge that he turned into a shopping center, and he put so much detail into it, and it was amazing and awesome. And I was like, maybe I should do some sort of shopping center village thing. And then when Tattooed Simmer did this challenge, she did a storefront. I don't know why I said it like that. A storefront. So it's just several storefronts together, which I'm so super excited to tour today. And so that was kind of the inspiration for that. But then each of these individual stores was actually kind of inspired by a few more people. So I believe Witching Mermaid, Kitty, she did this. She did a pizzeria as a P build. So that's where the inspiration from this came from. And then the pub next door is, I believe, what Tat did for her P build. So it's like several layers of inspiration within. And then Fresh and his Twitch may come up with some ideas for some of these builds. And then the Japanese, I believe I would say Japanese, inspired restaurant was something I was always gonna do. Like I had this cool idea of doing like a sort of like a yum cha place almost. Which is why I said Asian inspired. I didn't want to kind of commit myself to one particular restaurant or whatever because I'm not that knowledgeable in certain styles and whatnot. But Tinksy, I recently stumbled across him. I've met him before in other people's streams, and I stumbled across him, and he was actually doing an Asian inspired build as well. I think he was doing a tea house, some karaoke rooms, and so I thought it would be really fun to take inspiration from that as well, because I was always going to do an Asian inspired restaurant, but I was really unsure as to how I was going to do it, and then I kind of just took a little bit of inspiration, got overwhelmed, and just placed a bunch of random things. So yeah, it's super fun. And I had a lot of problems with these stupid round rooms. So if anyone knows how to make round rooms less painful, please let me know down in the comments below, because I was gonna cry. I could not get the roofing to work and I just had to give up, which is super unfortunate because I did not want a white ceiling. And I did want a round room, so I just what do I do in this scenario other than cry? But yes, we are moving on to the inside of this build now. So this is the pub, as I said before. It is just some oldie type pub. It has a lot of seating, a music area, a dance floor, a couple of different bars. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know if you just saw, but I accidentally deleted the floor. The amount of times that I delete the floor in this video, like in this oh, I just keep deleting the floors by accident. And I was getting really frustrated. I feel like this one is one that I decorated pretty well. So you'll see for some of the builds I just come and put some random stuff in and I just chuck it down and then move on, and then you'll see eventually I come back to it and fix it all up. But yeah, it's because I was getting very overwhelmed. I ended up with 7.5 hours worth of footage. Now that did include 2 days worth of streams where I spent about half an hour touring the builds, because there's about 5 um each day. So about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I started on this build, and then that was like right at the start of the video, and then I think at the start of maybe in like 6-7 minutes, I think that's the next part that I streamed. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it was this bit or the next bit, because I think it could have been this bit, but it doesn't make sense in my editing. I should have more breaks if it was this bit. But anyway, the first time I just did like 20 minutes and then I got really tired and I had to get like leave stream. But it's done now. I may come back one day to revisit this and like edit it and fix it up and work on it again. Definitely gonna be fixing up the outside, that is for sure. And then I will absolutely be finishing other builds and then like adding a lot of clutter for the ones that I did not clutter. Because yeah, some of these are just not it. Like this wedding store, I don't think I'd change. It's a wedding planning store, I guess. So like picking out your flowers and your type of chairs and what arch you want. Do you want bouquets or not? Do you want your bridesmaids to have bouquets or not? And hear all the different kinds. So it's just kind of messing around and having fun with that sort of stuff. I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, this one I'm pretty happy with. So it's again something simple, something easy, something sweet. But I wouldn't change it for what I did. I think there's not much more detail I could add. And yeah, you get to come in and try out the different chairs, and you can see like there's a few photos around, so maybe there's like a photographer that you could try. And there's a picture of a blue door I put in before, and that is probably like an event space that you could visit. And then yeah, at the back we've got some bushes and a bee box. Maybe some of the flowers out there are actually like grown here and turned into the bouquets. But yes, that was that wedding store, and then I don't really know what order I do things because I was trying to make the outside look good enough that I could um be happy with like not doing the insides of stores. But yeah, I end up doing a lot of the insides of the stores anyway. So this fun little yellow one is actually the kids one, like the fun little playroom, I guess. I don't know. It was a fun and interesting build to do. It was definitely, it made me use items I've never used before, like the squiggle carpet. Tat was the first one to use it in my challenge. That made me go, what the hell? I love it. How did you make me love it? But yeah, what I do at first is just kind of dump everything in and then like come back to it much later. Because ridiculous the amount of items I put down. Definitely no shortage of things for children in this build. I actually had to get rid of some of the things, so I couldn't even put all of the doll houses in. I had to remove some. But we will get back to that later because I was just trying to put things in so that I knew what each build would be and then I'd come back and finish it. I was thinking like go in and put a bunch of items in and then come back and finish it off stream and kind of do a tour at the end. So it would be kind of like what I did with the Andretti 3000 inspired build. I cut out a lot of content for that, even though it was over 3 videos, and I ended up doing a tour at the end anyway, so you didn't really miss out on seeing everything, you still got to see everything, and yeah, now we are basically just and I'm making, yeah, again, trying to just make the outside look presentable. So this building here with the stairwell to one side and then the build to the other, which now we're not in anymore. The stairway to upstairs, there's a stairway, some bathrooms, and then upstairs with a little kitchen. That's all hunky-dory, like I've finished that, that's all well and good. But the build below it is empty and I have no idea what to put in there. The build that I just did where I put the stairs on the outside and the balcony bit near the witchy store, I didn't put anything in, couldn't figure out what I was doing. But yeah, now we are moving on to a bookstore, which again I just put down basic things and then come back and visit it later where I put a little bit more detail. I definitely could have put a lot more books, but I did not. Now that I think about it, I get to put some like side tables down with a bunch of books on them, and again, I did not. So yeah, this is definitely a build I'm going to visit once again in the future, but it's going to be one that you probably have to drag me kicking and screaming to finish. Like I want to finish it, but just not now. I don't want to look at it, I don't want to touch it, I don't want to, even just watching it all over again, I'm like, ugh. Build makes me mad. But it also took me 2 days to build. Now, when I said that last time with other builds, it's like, oh, I've got like 4 hours of footage. No, this was, like I said before, 7.5 hours worth of footage, and I stayed up till 1 AM last night trying to finish it, and then I got up really early this morning to do some editing and things like that, and I'm not happy about that. I like my sleep, and I also debated whether or not I wanted to cut anything out of this video, just because the 45-minute video otherwise. And I actually decided against it. I have actually been cutting out some things from other videos, and the reason why I didn't was because recently I watched a video by Griffy, and she had a 45-minute long video, and she was talking about how you actually get to see her whole process in it and the decisions she makes about, changing things, and you can see how her mind works in that particular build. And I thought that was really, like, really genuine, and I really liked that, and so I kind of wanted to do something similar. Whereas some of my builds, I'm like, you know what, I'm just so excited and I want to share it, and I don't care how long it is, but this one was like, no, I was struggling, and I want you to see that building isn't always easy. I'm not proud of this build. It's okay, I could live with it, but there's definitely a lot more I could have done to make it way better, and unfortunately I did not. Because of motivation and time. And I think, yeah, if you're an aspiring builder and you're struggling and you're always seeing these beautiful builds around, just know that we all go through struggle. Again, I'm not the best builder out there. There are definitely builders out there who are way better than me, like Fresh and Tat and Kitty and Lady and just all these other people. But yeah, just because you see all this gorgeous stuff around doesn't mean everything is gorgeous. I also realized I think I didn't furnish a bathroom that I was supposed to furnish in this build. But yeah, it's, see, like, the mistakes like that where I can recognize now I don't think I did something I was supposed to do. And yeah, I think it's just really helpful to see the mistakes we all make. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's it's definitely helpful for me, like seeing when I was watching that Griffey video, it was the three townhouse occults, the three occult town, the occults for the three townhouse. No, the three townhouses for the occults. The vampire, spellcaster, and werewolf one. And yeah, she was saying that she was really struggling with the werewolf house, and you can see her like going back and changing things up and editing it and redoing it over and over and over and over and over again. And it was just like, I feel that pain. And it was really relatable as a builder. And it really made me feel a lot better because she's amazing at what she does. She makes it look so good. And I am aspiring towards that. Not there yet, but aspiring. But it's just like seeing that sort of stuff really does help. So yeah, long story short, that is why I did this. And why we ended up with the build that we got. So yeah, it was very interesting. A lot of work. I'm definitely exhausted. I know by the end of this challenge that I'm not going to want to touch Sims for a while. The other problem is like with this challenge, I've got everything listed out. I know what I have to build, so I can't build what I want to. So I feel like I'm gonna take like a day or two off from not touching it, not editing videos, not nothing, just relaxing, doing nada. And then when I get to do what I want, I can do whatever I want. So, you know, there's pros and cons to this challenge. You know, the pros being it gets me outside of my comfort zone and makes me think about things and expand on them and things like that. And then yeah, I've got to be constrained by it as well because I can only build S builds for this week or for this letter. You know, tomorrow I can only do T things. Like I'd really, really, really want to do another castle, but a castle doesn't start with T. So I have to wait. And, you know, like I want to do another big mansion, and none of the letters coming up really can do that. But I still am excited for some of these future builds because I am absolutely like I've been thinking about them for a while, really wanting like itching to do them. So, you know, it's quite interesting. It's quite um different, and I'm very keen to actually get started. But yeah, also very keen for this challenge to be finished because it's such I don't want to say it's such a hassle, but it is being constrained to like I couldn't really abandon this build and come back to it at a later date. I had to finish it, and yeah, so I did. But the build we're actually working on now, the building, I guess, is the farmers one that I was telling you about. That I like a bunch of farmers got together and thought, you know, it'd be really cool to work together on this build and yeah, have like a big space that they could rent together and sell all their produce. So we have uh I can't really think of it, like a vegetable grower seller. I imagine it would be that several vegetable growers get someone from their local area to go and sell that on their behalf, and they just give that person a cut of their profit. And you know, if it's like 5% for each different vegetable, that's still 5% from each person. So that's still, I'd say, a decent amount. You know, if each person did, I don't know, yeah, I don't know, whatever percentage it is, they get a cut from it. So there's like the vegetable stall. There is the like animal care stall. I guess it's more chicken based, but animal care stall where all the different feeds are and the wool from the animal is from the sheep, where you can buy wool. or like wool products. I probably should have done wool products, that would have made more sense. But again, very tired, wasn't really paying much attention. And then there is a plant store, like a grow your own herbs and vegetables little spot. And then on the other side of the room, there is a little sitting area and a wine selling store. Sorry, a nectar selling stall. So yeah, if you have any other ideas of what I could have put in here, I'd love to listen, because upstairs is just like a storage room. I just put in a bunch of things, like this is where they store everything to be sold. You know, maybe they have uh you know, like all the wine or the nectar that's stored upstairs. Maybe the bar across the little across the diagonally across from this place. Maybe they've bought it, but they have no storage space for it. So they're like, look, we'll buy it from you, but can you store it for us? Like, we'll pay you a little extra to store it for us. So now they're getting extra income from that. And, you know, people come here to get their nice fresh fruit and vegetables, but it doesn't matter if it's rain, hail, or shine, because it's all indoors and you can shop without being bothered by the rain. But yeah, we actually do have some wine tasting as well. I just picked out 3 of random wines, so I think it was grape, energizer, nectar, and the love one. I don't know. I just picked out 3 random ones, and that's kind of what we ended up with. I actually spent a lot of time in this space, namely because I was watching other people stream and I kept pausing my builds to go chat with those streamers. But yeah, it was something that I was like, no, I actually have to get these things done, stop chatting and hanging out with people, like just listen to them and then keep building. And then I get like 10 minutes of building stuff done, and then I'd go back to chatting, and I'm like, oh, nope, we're gotta go back again, come on, stay focused. There was a lot. It was very stressful, and that's kind of the reason why I ended up doing so much work and staying up really late. Like, I had 5 hours that I set myself. I'm like, I'm sure I could get this build done in 5 hours. And in those 5 hours, I got 2 hours and 40 minutes worth of work done because of how many times I paused it and how much procrastination. And that was including dinner as well, though. Which was, I'd probably say I had 4 to 4.5 hours to actually get this work done. And I did it probably an hour and 45 minutes worth of procrastinating, somewhere in that range. Don't check my maths because it's more than likely wrong, but yeah, that's sort of the range that I was in, of an hour and 45 minutes of procrastinating. And then I actually got in, and this is the bit where I really started to get in and like get things done. Because the pub was kind of like half done and I just needed to fix it up. Whereas this was like, no, okay, I'm gonna put the details in, I'm gonna move things around, I'm gonna blah blah blah, do this and that, and I'm glad I did. Because it was definitely a lot of work and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I put a lot of detail and effort into it. I mean, you'll see in a second that I actually get the it's like a little bit of animal feed that's just in a pile on the floor, and I put it around each of the bags. So like they've all been spilt a little bit. Some more than others, but yeah, just putting a lot of details in. And my poor computer, like anytime I tried to eyedrop anything, it would take a hot second to actually get started. But yeah, here's where you can see me doing it all. So I lay them all out, put all the colours out to see what they are, and then just go in and put them around the correct colour. So you can see some of them have more than others, but they all have something that's built. And yeah, it's very detailed in this room, so I'm pretty happy with this. The only bit that I would fix up is probably the upstairs a little bit. It's a little bit blank in some corners, and the corner in front of the stairs. Like there's plenty of space for me to put like a little sitting area or something. Like I put one in this corner right now, you can see. And I could have probably done something like that over on the other side, and I did not. because I looked at it and went, I can't be bothered to think. I'm so tired. But again, I will be finishing this build one day. Please, if you want to see it, pester me. I am more than happy to finish it for you. I just need a little bit where I can build whatever I want, and have as much fun as I want, rather than stressing over nonsense. So yeah, that's gonna be the goal. But today, yes, if you were interested about me saying before about streaming or A to Z challenge and looking at the results, I am streaming every day this month until the 26th my time, which is either the 25th or 26th your time, depending on where you are in the world. I'm an Aussie, I'm in Australia, so I have an earlier time schedule than most people, and I'm streaming sort of in the afternoon my time because most people have said that's easier and more convenient for them. So yes, I will be streaming in the afternoon my time. Normally I stream twice a week and I do 2 builds a week. It kind of all lines up and it's all nice. But yeah, this month I'm doing every single day until the 26th. And I've only got 7 more builds to do. So actually this time next week is my last build, which is so super exciting but also really sad. So make sure you tune in for that. I might have a surprise 27th stream if I feel up to it. Because there's been a lovely person who has participated in this challenge alongside me, and they've asked if I would show off their builds, and I said I can't promise anything, but ask me again when it gets closer to the time, and I can let you know whether or not I just want to be done with it, or if I'm got the energy to do it. Because like I said, I am absolutely shattered. I'm exhausted. Didn't sleep well last night. I haven't been sleeping well for a while. And yeah, I kind of blame this challenge. Also another reason why I had a lot of trouble with this build is this build here. Is actually this store here. So this is a wedding dress store where you can get your fun, funky wedding dresses. Also I can only put 10 mannequins on a lot, so now I can't do another clothing store. I mean I could, but I just wouldn't be able to have mannequins. And I've never dressed mannequins before. I had the worst time with it on this planet, and I wish I never did it. Although it does look much better at the end. And I cut it out too. The amount of effort and energy that went into trying to make it work. I spent like a good solid 40 minutes just trying to dress 10 mannequins in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different outfits. Like it was just I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. It was exhausting. But I did it. I eventually figured it out. I thought each mannequin was its own individual mannequin and you can just dress it however you want. But apparently not, and you have to put a stupid amount of mannequins together and I was so mad. Because I dressed the first one and it stayed in whatever I put it in. I dressed the second one and it stayed in whatever I put it in. And then I dressed the third one and it changed the second one to whatever the third one was wearing. And I just couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Until I figured out you're supposed to add different outfits. And thankfully the child's one is separate so you could add different children's one, which I think I actually did. I think I added 2 different children's ones. But yeah, now you can see they're all dressed and done. And that's it. That's all you get to see. I seriously just move on straight away because I could not stand it. I was like, I have to leave. I have to move on. I have to finish the outside of this build. And so that's pretty much. I spent a lot of time fixing up the outside of this build. Just putting basic things around just so I can be like, okay, we have something. We have, a little bit of pleasantness around. And then I use the good old trusty edge to hide horrible things. But when I come back, I will be changing it completely. I do not like it how it is at all. So yeah, it will definitely be lifted up quite a lot when I get back. And I feel like I'd change a lot of the outsides of these builds as well. This build that I'm quickly working on now, by the time I finish what I'm saying, we've already moved on. This is going to be like an antique store. Or like a antique furniture store maybe? I don't know, like something antique-y. And then the one next to it, which I think we'll put windows on and doors on in a minute. That is supposed to be like a place for you to stay. That's a little nicer than the pub. Or it should be a little nicer than the pub. And then I have no idea what to make the building beside the chapel. I think I can hear thunder, and that makes me really excited because I love the rain. I don't like thunder. I don't like loud crashing booming. It scares me. I'm terrified. Pretty sure we talked about in a previous video about me being terrified of space. You think that was yesterday's build, me talking about how I was terrified of space. Yep, no, today, no, I'm terrified of thunder. Not so much that I can't be on my own and survive and that, but I'd much prefer not to be on my own. I don't like it. Either that or someone's in the bathroom and rolling the toilet paper, because that's right against the wall I'm up against at the moment. So yeah, I don't know. It's really great fun because sometimes I can hear people going to the bathroom and it's just so enjoyable listening to people relieve themselves. Like I know people have to go to the bathroom and there's nothing I can do about that, and I'm never going to tell people not to, but why did I have to end up in the room right next to the toilet? I don't want to listen to that. Anyway, actually, I was talking about in yesterday's video, I found out yesterday, or the night before, that I might be moving. I've only been in the place I'm currently living for less than 5 months, and already I'm probably going to be moving again. But having a look at the place that we could be moving to, because already we found a place that we might be interested in, I would not have to deal with that because I have my own bathroom and it would be away from everyone. And I'm super lucky for that. And having a room away from everyone is really handy because when people are home and wanting to make noise and things like that, they can stay away, basically. There'd be minimal disruptions, I reckon, especially if I got some better soundproofing. For the moment, my soundproofing is just my belongings. There's nothing for me to actually prevent. Like, I don't even have carpet in this room or a rug or anything. It's just stuff. I've got a corner desk, and instead of putting it in the corner, if I was sitting, I am sitting at my desk, and if I'd put it in the corner, I'd be looking at two walls reaching each other, like that's where they meet. But I actually rotated my desk 90 degrees so that the right edge of my desk actually lines up with the corners of the wall. So I've kind of got a little nook going on. And I like how deep, I think I'm always going to have a corner desk. Maybe not this one forever. Just because it is not my favorite. Like it's got so many pros, but also a bunch of cons. So I now know what I do like, what I don't like, and what to look for in a future desk. But I'll keep this for a while until I really know what I want to get and keep forever. But this was I need a desk for uni, I need to do it as soon as possible, and then got it a couple of days after I moved here. So yeah, it was. Corner desks are good, but the problem is that the wall technically behind me, that's where the bathroom is, and I don't like that. But no, the point I was trying to make, sorry, actually, is that because I've made this little space. Like it's not really all that hidden. I can be seen from the entire room. Like the doorway, technically yes, technically no, depending on where you're standing. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what that was, but that escaped from my stomach. Makes weird noises sometimes. Anyway, I completely forgot what I was saying. Yeah, you can kind of see me from the doorway, but yeah, if I did move into that place, I'd probably stay there for longer than what I'd planned to, and I'd really soundproof it and make it like, yeah, like I said, really soundproof. So that I could have things going on without being bothered by people's existences. I don't want to say it like that, but like people exist in this house and I can't ask them to not to. But I can't also just like sometimes this house is noisy and I try and avoid recording or streaming at times where it's going to be noisy, which is something really handy we have is a calendar where everyone puts in whether they're going to be home or not, like you know, when they're going to be out or whatever. And it's so super handy because then everyone knows who's going to be home for dinner or like yeah, like again for me recording it's super handy. Um oh, that is most definitely thunder. Fantastic. No, but like, you know, we all agreed that we would take turns cooking. So I cook 1 to 2 nights a week. Because my best friend and I cook together, so we usually do it 1 to 2 times a week. Because some nights it's just we just make your own thing. I want to do this, I want to do that, or you know, some people aren't going to be there. What's the point of cooking for everyone if no one's going to be there? But yeah, it's so super handy to have like a little group calendar going on. But I would have to worry about that less if I had a soundproofing. But that's if we move, and I'm like, part of me is like, if we move, we're gonna have so much more space, and you know, there's now 8 people living in this house, and it's just a bit crowded and a bit cramped. And it would probably be a little bit better, but moving and I lose access to some of the things that are really handy to have access to. Um, you know, like I love to walk everywhere, but some of the things that I walk to are no longer walking distance, and in fact, the things that normally, how do I say this? Other things that should be in walking distance are not in walking distance because of like a river or buildings being in the way. Like I'd have to go a really long way to get to something that's like as the crow flies right there. So yeah, I don't know. Let's hope that the right decision gets made because I don't know what the right decision is at the moment. None of us do, and I don't want to be stressed. So I'm just not gonna try and think about it too much. But anyway, we have already done the witch store, I feel. We did the bookstore, and this is the art gallery. So upstairs it's very like artsy and whatever, but then downstairs it's like a plain old boring art gallery, like so super simple. I definitely add more once I'm back to edit this, but I did the Asian inspired restaurant, and I think that's it. I don't. While I was rambling, I don't think I really did anything else. I can't remember, which is so fun not remembering things that I just saw like 37 seconds ago. Um, yeah, I don't know. This build was fun in some places, really stressful in others, and yeah, like I said, I will come back. I will finish it. Just need a little break. My brain is exhausted, and yeah, like I said, we'll get this done. If you have any ideas, tips, or tricks, or comments, suggestions, feedback, any of that sort of stuff, definitely let me know down below. I think this chapel is the last thing that we really do. And again, it's pretty simple, but I will come back and make it a bit more detailed. I actually had a dream about decorating the rest of this build with the candles I placed down in this build. Tells you how much I've been dealing with this build and how much it's been playing on my mind. But anyway, yeah, if you've got any comments, feedback, tips, tricks, whatever, definitely let me know down below. I will definitely get back to doing this build one day. And I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out, listening, watching, chilling, whatever. It honestly does mean a lot to me, and I'm so super keen to get the rest of this challenge done, but I know I'll be really sad when it's finished. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.